Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Sunday nights. It can only be one thing. It's the iGPFun Super Formula Lights Round 10 at Jerez. Hi, I'm Jerez Parfitt. Going to be joined in the booth by Tom Cairns this evening here as we run 30 laps at this 4.37 kilometre circuit. Don't forget they do have the magenta zone here, which does mean they're not allowed to overtake or actively overtake. Now, where is that running to this week? It is running to Cedar Ponds, turn 5, which on the track map that you are looking at, it is the bottom right-hand corner. Not the left hand, the bottom right hand corner. That is where they will then be allowed to actively overtake. Let's have a look at the championship standings as they stand with one drop week added. Luca Varani is out in front by 4 points over Antonio Jimenez with Simon Frelick on 294. Kevin Webster on 268. Then you've got Lee Aberdeen on 254 and Andy Flint on 250, tied with Jakub Oleszwinski. Robert Ridgway 248. Dennis Cornu, Richard Van Veen, Paul LeMay, Raheem Hakim, Stefan Dodra, Ludovic Rancon, and Patrick Williams all round out the top 15. Then you got Ben Goyet, Ngayan, Giovanni Salito, Joseph Lucas, and Marlon Morden round out the top 20. Now we do only cover the top 20 due to the fact that there is 72 people who have scored points this season, and that would be a very, very long run through indeed. We've got about 5 minutes left of qualifying, and at the moment it is a Delta Sport of Raheem Hakim out in front here, setting that lap on a 1:27.492. But let's bring Mr. Tom Cairns into the booth. Tom, welcome in. How are you?
Hello, James. Hello to everyone here at Jerez, which to a particular generation does bring back memories for Formula One, but those who are into MotoGP is a circuit they are very familiar with. We are using the MotoGP configuration of this circuit, which means there is the removal of that chicane, and so they'll be going through the right-handers of the Alex Criville and Ferrari section before the Lorenzo hairpin prior to the pit straight.
Yeah, we are currently at this moment in time. It still means that the fact that they will have some tough corners to contend with here as well, and I think it's going to make it even more interesting. Last week at Suzuka, it was Simon Frelick taking the victory with Kenzie Neuhoff in second place and Raheem Hakim in third. Kenzie Neuhoff getting the fastest lap. Luca Varani has not been on the podium all season long, and as of yet leads the championship. Antonio Jimenez, who is second in the championship, has only been on the podium once all season, whereas Simon Frelick, who sits in third in the championship, has won 4 times, finished second twice, and unfortunately, because he's got a bad drop week, he is in third place in the championship. Just goes to show you with the likes of Luca Varani and Antonio Jimenez, Tom, that they don't really need to be winners every single week.
No, it's a matter of consistency every single time they go out onto the racetrack, but there comes a point where if you know what your worst score is that is counted, then you need to try and better it to improve your score, because that is the only way to improve your score. And so they are on the circuit now, closing to the end of qualifying with about a minute or so to go, and so Hakim is fastest at the moment, which is no surprise given his form so far this season, and he's looking to continue it here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, as he goes over the line for his final lap here as well, 1:27.492. Welcome in. If you are here, thanks so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the bells. That would be absolutely amazing. Mackenzie Roon sitting in second place here. No, he's not. He's sitting in fourth at the moment on a 1:27.775, and he is on his run up through Paluqui, and then before we go on to the Alex Criville, through Ferrari, and then down into the Lorenzo corner. So there will be 3 more corners for this man to contend with. Very fast section here, topping it down now. You'll be able to see it goes round Lorenzo and then on his way over the start finish line once more. So we'll see what Mackenzie Roon can get in here in qualifying. Is he going to be able to go jump up any higher than where he is at this moment in time? What is he going to do? It's not quicker, I don't think, than the 1:27.775. That is the qualifying finished, and it will be Simon Frelick will be the final draw driver over the grid, over the finish line. So we'll see how he gets on here for Simon Froelich. But this is going to be a very, very interesting one indeed. I think here, Tom, lots of overtaking opportunities. You've got down into Cedar Ponds if you get a good run out, turn 3 and 4, down into turn number 6, which obviously Danny Pedrosa corner. Be excited to see how they handled some of these.
Yeah, absolutely, and they know where the designated overtaking spots are going to be. Espo 92, for example, Lorenzo possibly the dry stack corner, which a lot of people will remember for that famous Schumacher-Villeneuve incident back in 1997. And so they will be thinking carefully about how to tackle this circuit, because I think some drivers have struggled to maintain the tyres throughout the course of a distance of 150 kilometres. And so it'll be interesting to see who can look after them better than others throughout this evening, which is something we've not really spoken about too much this season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's going to be some form of tyre wear that these guys will have to kind of contend with, and we'll see how we get on here as well, whether or not the tyres are going to last the distance or whether or not they're not. Just, as we keep an eye there, Tony Jimenez bounces his way up into 5th. Giovanni Salito will come over the line as well. And we'll see how he gets on. For Salito, no improvements there at all. Ben Goyet, the last one, will be over the line. So let's see how he gets on this one for Ben Goyet. Is he going to make an improvement? Is he not going to make an improvement? Well, he's got a green, but no improvements for Ben Goyet. So unfortunately for him, we're going to have to just see how he can get on. We've got 33 drivers in the race this week. Bit of a lighter field than we normally have here at IGP. But I'm sure that's not really a worry for some of these people. Indeed, it just gives them opportunity to score points on the board here. Right, let's bring you up the grid when it is ready to go. And we have, whoa, what is going on there? Let's try that one again, shall we? There we go. Raheem Hakim out in front with Lee Aberdeen in 2nd, Luca Varani in 3rd, Mackenzie Roon in 4th, then Tony Jimenez in 5th, Jakub Oleszewski in 6th, Kevin Zwemstra in 7th, Andrzej Łyskowski in 8th, Simon Froelich in 9th, then Andy Flint in 10th, and Paul LeMay in 11th, with Dennis Cornu down in 12th place. Moving on, Clark Williams 13th, Chris Patel in 14th, Stefan Dodera in 15th, Robert Ridgway in 16th, Pibard Rabelard 17th, Joseph Lucas 18th, Jack Williams 19th, Chris Trott in 20. Then we've got Richard Van Veen and Bart-Jan van der Laan, and John McKenzie, Zoltan Zamoda, Eddie Amos and Michael LeMay in 26th, Giovanni Salito, Sonny Rosario, Dorian Ruro, Noel Richie Robinson, Linus Malm, Ben Goyet and Sean Pulsifier rounding out the 33 cars. If we're going to get all 33 on the grid, of course. Let's keep an eye and see how we get on. But ladies and gentlemen, get your drinks, get your popcorns, sit back and relax and get ready to go, because this is could be an absolute banger. Just waiting for the rest of the drivers. 30 laps of action, so keep that in mind. We've got a few that are still sat out there at the moment, and we've got about 30 seconds give or take to go on the line. Not quite sure why Luca Varani is all the way to the left, but then again, that whole grid line is not very straight on both sides of that grid. Just waiting for Dodler, Ridgway and Williams, and then we'll be up and running and ready to go. Here as well, they've got 15 seconds on the clock, so let's keep an eye out and see what happens here. 1 minute 50, everybody on the grid. You can see the cars go all the way down to the exit of the last corner. But ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your hats, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is green, green, green. And Raheem Hakim is out in front here for what plans to be 30 laps of action. He's got that run down into turn 1, and he has made it through. Luca Varani in there as well. Mackenzie Roon, Tony Jimenez, Jakub Oleszewski. No active overtaking right the way down through to turn 5 at the moment. There is a little bit of a shift. That is Cornu is just about gained a place. Nope, he's back behind Paul LeMay. And now this is it. Raheem Hakim is out in front. He's doing what he needs to do. He's got the job done over Lee Aberdeen, and he's motoring away. Now we are racing. Now this is full bore on racing here as well. And they're doing a great job currently at this moment in time. Raheem Hakim out in front. Lee Aberdeen, Luca Varani tucked in there. There's Jakub Oleszewski moves on the inside, gets the job done over Tony Jimenez as well. Through the the right-hander of Danny Brajosa up through turn 7 and turn 8. But Raheem Hakeem, Tom, did what he had to do and got away out in front.
Yeah, and he used the advantage of the opening few corners to just pull away for the rest of the pack, knowing there was no overtaking through that magenta zone, as it's called in this particular series. But they can go racing now all the way to the finish. There's no pit stops involved, no mandatory pit stops anyway. So it's essentially a sprint to the flag. It's one mistake that could cost you dear. So it's important to make sure they don't get stuck in too soon.
Yeah, Waskowski here with Kevin Swepstra and Tony Jimenez. Through they go, through the left-hander of Lorenzo, and on the run up over the line once more. That's lap 1 done, and at the moment it's all very liney. Jakub Oleszwinski overtaking Tony Jimenez is the only overtake inside the top 15. Joseph Mark Lucas overtaking Fabar Rabelard is the only overtake there as well. There was an accident there with Andy Flint, who is sitting in the side of the gravel for Andy Flint. What have you done? Scuddy out of Racing Forces coming down into turn 1. Onto the curb he goes, massive amounts of carry speed, slammed that brake, and unfortunately for him he ended up going round. Paul LeMay is also another victim of what looks like turn 1. He tries to avoid Andy Flint and around he goes. On the track, does he get it back? He does get it back straight for Paul LeMay, but drops him all the way down the order. Andy Flint down in 30th. Luca Varani, Mackenzie Roon, Jakub Oleszwinski through the right-hander, through turn 6, off the run up through turn 7 at the moment. Mackenzie Roon putting Varani under pressure here. He's trying to make him make a mistake on the run through turn 8 into Angel Niado, turn 9, and then through the right-hander here. There is turn 9. Then we've got a double right on the run up through Alex Gravel in turn 10 and 11. Section very, very quick, Tom. They've got to make sure they can bury this section to be able to get the run out of the last corner.
Yeah, absolutely. They know that every bit of corner that they can get, every line they take, could make the difference between getting an overtake done and not. We're looking at Mackenzie Roon behind Luca Ferrani, who is looking to maintain his place at the top of the championship, even with the drop scores, which have been applied, or at least one of them have anyway. Mackenzie Roon is going for it into turn 1 at Expo 92.
Yeah, no, almost looks up the inside there for Roon. Unfortunately, not this time. Now tucks in Whitemore through turn 2. Michelin corner we go. There's action all the way through. You can see on the left-hand side all the oranges that are there and on the board. Fibar Rabelard locked in with Jack Williams and Robert Ridgway. Chris Trott, Paul LeMay is down here, unfortunately, in 19th after his earliest incident with Andy Flint. Of course, Flint distracted him a little bit, and unfortunately for Paul LeMay, trying to miss that, ends up going off track. But Liam Aberdeen closed all the way into Raheem Hakeem as well. Hakeem goes on the defense, through into the right hand up they go, through turn 6 they go. Al Nasir's in YouTube chat. Evening lads, good evening young sir, hope you are well. Hakeem out in front, pressurised by Aberdeen. Aberdeen's not going to give this up in a hurry.
No, not by any means. Aberdeen's done well to close up on Hakeem in the last couple of laps, and we could well see an overtake coming in a moment. Lee Aberdeen, multiple race winners so far this season, but some of the performances haven't exactly matched up to it. He didn't even take the start last week in Suzuka, remembering actually, and now he's got to make up for it here and try and go for another win.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to try and put the pressure under Hakeem. You can see Mackenzie Roon just made that move past Ferrani. Action further back as well. Kevin Swenstra and Andre Vaskowski. Vaskowski got the inside line. You can see Aberdeen now making a move for the lead. He's pulled out here. He's going to try and go the long way round turn 1. Not this time. Luca Varani, Mackenzie Roon as they were. Kevin Swenstra looking around the outside of Vaskowski at the moment. Is he going to be able to make it through? The Brazilian in the red and yellow, and then Swenstra in the green and black. Waskowski's squeezing him a little bit, can't make it through now on the run down into turn 5. Swepstra gets through. Aberdeen does not get through, however, and big pressure for Raheem Hakeem coming at him now.
Yeah, that was a good defensive manoeuvre from Hacking into turn 1, because he knew the inside line was where Aberdeen was wanting to go, but Aberdeen go for it now almost into dry sack. But there's just he wasn't exactly alongside to try and get the move done there. So it's just going to take some patience really from Aberdeen, unless he is deliberately holding back and not wanting to take too much out of the tyres whilst getting an overtake completed on Hakim.
Yeah, well, they did say, obviously, tyre wear could be a big impact here as well. I know Luca Varani was saying a little bit earlier on, he tried to do a race stint. The tyres did not last the distance. So we'll have to keep an eye and see what went on that one and see how they all get on here. But action throughout the field. Simon Frelich sitting in the back of Waskowski's, Webster, Jimenez, Varani, Oleswinski and Rune. There is the pack. Then you've got that further pack down with Stefan Dodderer. He's got Patel, Lucas, Ridgway, Fibber, Rabelard and Williams. Then we've got Paul May. He's just gone up the inside of Chris Trott. He's got Van Veen, Bartjan van der Laan, Mackenzie, Amos, Silita, Michael LeMay, all mixing it up here in this pack. So lots of action throughout this field currently. You see further up, Rabelard just got up the inside of Jacques Willems. No change at the front, no. Hakeem still out in front with Aberdeen. No change with Rune and Oleswinski, who has passed Varani. Jakob Oleswinski has passed Luca Varani. Do we think Varani might be taking it a little bit easier to save tyres?
Well, it feels like it. He feels that the long way is the way to go, but he just needs to be not too conservative and drop too far back in the pack, really. So if he could just hold up the field and, you know, once the tyres come into his zone, and that will help. There's just been some action going on at the dry stack corner involving Tony Jimenez. It looks like he's completed, or at least he's been overtaken actually by Kevin Strömstrup for 6th position, and now he's got the Brazilian of Vyskovsky behind, and Simon Frelich, last week's race winner at Suzuka, in 9th position. There you just see Vyskovsky running wide. They're running a bit too deep there, almost exceeding shut limits, and that has allowed Frelich to go past, and that was too easy to overtake there from Vyskovsky. It just went too deep, and now Cornu is alongside. So that's the important thing, James, is that one loss of momentum, and you just essentially lose all the rhythm through the next sequence of corners, and that just sets an example of it. We've got one retirement so far in this race. Sultan Samota had pulled out on lap 2. We don't know what happened to him.
This, I can tell you what happened. He had a moment on his own, did Sultan Samota, unfortunately. And then he made some more problems for himself after that. It wasn't much longer after this one that he then decides that he's going to call it a day and goes off at the side of the circuit. Eddie Amos battling away with Giovanni Salito and Michael LeMay. Michael from, obviously, Two Brothers Racing with his brother, but not got the livery on. Linus Malm and Andy Flynn. Andy Flynn tried to come through the field, has made his way back up into 27th, down 17 places at this moment in time is Andy Flint. Here's the gainers and lunars on the left-hand side. You can see Flint down 17 after carrying far too much speed and ended up nearly running into the back of his teammate. Hatcher hit the brakes hard, and then unfortunately the back end come round at turn 1. So Andy Flint making his way. We'll keep an eye on that one. Salito just gone up the inside of Eddie Amos. Job done for him. Paul LeMay, Fibard Rabelard and Willems here all battling out further down. This is a battle for 17th, 18th, 16th, 17th and 18th here. Let's see how far LeMay can travel back up after getting a bit spooked by Andy Flint. But Dennis Cornu, Simon Frelich. Frelich goes on the defensive, going through the left-hander as Jean Lorenzo does make it, still stays where he is for the Hydro Force Racing Forces team. But again, Dennis Cornu putting Frelich under pressure.
Yeah, and Cornu right on the tail of Frelich. He fancies a go into, well, he thought about it, but he decided to hold back. Maybe he feels that turn 1 is not the best place to get an overtake completed because of the incline that takes you towards turn 2. Andy Flint is going to have to do what he did in Sebring, if you remember, James, where he had that spin after colliding with someone, and he came back through the field to the fringes of the top 10. He's going to have to do a repeat of that here.
Yeah, he's going to have to get on with it a little bit, though. Lap 7, 23 to go. Cornu tucked in behind Frelich, not really making an impression. Is he going to be able to make a impression on the run down into turn 6 here? The right-hander, he's looking up the inside. Cornu goes later on the brakes. No, gets given the room. Wow, I am surprised he got given that by Frelich, but Frelich gave him the room. Cornu's going to sweep round the outside. He's got Frelich on the inside. This is going to give Frelich the inside corner for the left-hander here. Through they go, turn 8, and Frelich comes out, still manages to hold on. Waskowski now in there, and he's having a go with Cornu. Can't make it through again. Lee Aberdeen, however, closing down on Raheem Hakim. This man not giving up this fight, especially with the fact that they've got 1.7 to Mackenzie Roon.
Yeah, so Lee Aberdeen, a multiple race winner this season. We have mentioned his shenanigans before, and you know, if he's going to win the championship, it's probably going to have to be coming down to winning as many races as possible for Aberdeen. and he's thinking about it with Hakeem, but he's happy to hold back for the time being. He's got a gap of 1.6 seconds over Mackenzie Room, and you could probably say that if he decides not to go for it, then second place won't be a bad result either.
Yeah, you know, sim racer in YouTube chat. I thought we have to respect the off tracks. That's why I didn't race today. Well, you can get them quite easily here. I'm not gonna lie, you can get them quite easily. And Waskowski looks like he's taking a trip off the side of the circuit. Chris Trott is also there as well. However, Chris Trott went off, came back on, and then jumped back to pit lane. So I'm not quite sure if there was contact with anybody. But oh no, he just went and thumped the wall, and that car is what we call broke. What did Muskowski do to cause his error? Because he's now slipped down the order. Oh, round the final corner, just I think skips out, misses out the barrier, but loses an absolute bunch of positions all the way down into 30th. Massive loss. Stefan Dodra in here with Mark Lucas as they're continuing their fight as well. Lots of action taking shape at this moment in time. Who's going to come out on top? Well, we'll find out very, very shortly. Varani and Oleswinski battling it out for 4th and 5th, as well as Aberdeen and Hakeem. This track is just bringing action packs all the way through.
More than we thought we were going to be seeing at this stage of the race. I would have thought the drivers would just hold back until the closing stages to then have a go, which is very much the F1 game cycle like kind of tactic, if you want to put it in those words. Sometimes you just see this long procession, and then in the closing laps you see the drivers actually going for it. Whereas here, we're seeing it in the early stages, which is fantastic for us to be seeing, for us commentators and for those spectators. And we are looking at a four-way battle for P11 involving Krish Patel, Stefan Dodra, Joe Lucas, and the driver in 14th position is Robert Ridgway, who we've spoken quite a bit about so far this season. He's quite a driver who is good with his racecraft. So far in this race, as far as Ridgway is concerned, he's made up a couple of positions. Not quite as many as Joe Lucas, though. Yeah,
he's going to have a go at him at the moment. Is he going to be able to take that inside line? Ridgway has got the inside. He should be able to get through. Not at the moment. He doesn't get through. Is he going to be able to get through? He squeezes him on the exit through the left-hander. That's going to give Joseph Mark Lucas the inside line. Ridgway's going to go again. Nope. Lucas cuts his nose off now. Ridgway's going to try and go around the outside. Runs it, carries a lot of speed through the right-hander. Not getting it through again for Robert Ridgway. He's putting pressure on him. Just can't quite make the overtake. Now they've got the run through turn 11 and 12 down into George Lorenzo. The final hairpin on the circuit before they go on to the start-finish straight. Ridgway's looking, he's going to try and get the inside. He doesn't. He tries to go around the outside. Not this time. Takes that very wide line, gets onto the marbles. Can't get the grip out that would let the exit. And Joseph Mark Lucas rides once more. But that was a big mistake for Ridgway going into that final corner. Just got out on the marbles, couldn't get the grip to get off.
No, and he had to get off the marbles really and just ease off the accelerator to make sure he got into the corner fine. Paul LeMay has had a moment, James, because he's had a spin on that last lap, and we are about to get a replay, I think, as to why that is the case.
Oh, why are you sat there, Mr. LeMay? Did you do this on your own? It looks like it. Oh, Bud, your back end's coming round.
Oh yeah, he had to. He got a twitch, and they had to correct it.
Bumps the barrier after. That's going to put LeMay in pit lane. Luca Varani is alongside at this moment with Tony Jimenez. He does manage to take Jimenez there as well. Jimenez has been putting pressure on Varani. They've swapped places twice already. And at the moment, neither man is giving up here. So let's see what goes on 6th and 7th. Battling out Kevin Zwemstra up at the road. Mr. I do not like the rain Zwemstra. He will not race if it's raining. He does not like it for Kevin Zwemstra. So therefore he doesn't go and do it. But Tony Jimenez and Luca Varani are here and they are continuing to fight at the moment. And Jimenez is putting pressure on Varani, but he's not putting as much pressure as Jack Williams is over Robert Ridgway. He's putting pressure on Joseph Mark Lucas. Is he going to be able to get him down into turn 1? You're going to see if we can pick the draft up here as well. 2 tenths, 1 tenth, 1/8, 1/7, 1/6. It's going down. I don't think Ridgway's going to quite have enough. That draft isn't exceptionally strong on the that small sort of rundown from the final quarter down to turn 1, and it looks like Waskowski has jumped straight back to pit lane.
Yeah, so he's going to have to be right on the gearbox of Lucas if he's going to get an overtake done, is Robert Ridgway. and we're about to see whether he can get close enough. He's too far away unless he can get a phenomenal exit out of this right-hander here, which I think he does get a better exit, but he's nowhere near close enough to even think about going for a move into dry sack.
Not through this time into turn 6. For Ridgway, he's going to have to try and stay in behind Mark Lucas again, Tony Jimenez, and obviously the man on the inside. Whoa! Don't know if that was Varani pulling that round then, or whether or not there was any contact. I don't think there was contact. Let's keep an eye on the front right of Luca Varani. Does he just...
I think there was contact, James, because he's right front tyre.
I don't think there was. I don't think there was there. I've got a funny feeling that there was a gap. See if we can see from this point of view. I don't think there was actual contact. I think Varani was trying to tighten up the corner, coming into the left-hander very shortly, and then... Oh... Well, the internet deemed there was contact, let's just put it that way, but actually wasn't, as Ridgway and Lucas, well, they're that close.
Well, he's just exceeded track limits there, Ridgway, so I wonder if the stewards may have a look at that, whether he may get a slowdown. Because you can see he's gone on all 4 wheels over the white line there, Ridgway, so that's quite a controversial overtake he's pulled off there on Joe Lucas, but at least he's not hanging around any longer to get that overtake completed.
Straight through he goes here. And then Lucas in the background, Williams there. He has got Vibard Rabelard in his sights. Luca Varani has got that going on behind him at the moment. That is Clark Williams and Simon Frelick. Williams has just got past him. Oh, then he gets squeezed by Frelick. Frelick gets back through. That is currently twice. They've swapped places already, and through they go. The battle up front is getting a little bit hotter with Aberdeen pulling in Raheem Hakeem by about 1/10 going into that final corner. He's got to make sure he's tucked right up behind him at the moment here, Tom, to get that move done.
Yeah, well, Aberdeen, I think this is probably the closest he's been. Is he brave enough to go for it into turn number 1, or is he just going to hold back for the time being? He's continuing to hold back for the time being, and he's not even thinking about going for it yet. Mackenzie Room, for his personal best lap of the race so far, with a 1 minute 28.5, the fastest has been Raheem Hakim's 1 minute 28.4. So you can see Broom coming into his zone now. Cornu and Varani have posted personal bests as well. And you can just see they're settling down a little bit and the fuel coming down, but the tyre wear continuing to fall away from these drivers.
Yeah, this is what was going to happen here. It depends if Hakeem is going to be able to hold on to Aberdeen down that run now. Down into turn 6, nope, no move there. Eunice gaining an advantage off track, yeah, a little bit, but listen, see what happens from that one. On at the same time, looking back through the wing of Raheem Hakeem at the looming ever Lee Aberdeen here. Is he going to be able to get through? He's not. What about into the double right-hander? He's not close enough. That run, I don't think, is long enough from the start-finish straight downwards, and I think that's the problem. I think Aberdeen can't utilise the back straight coming out of Cedar Ponds of turn 5 to the run down into 6, and I just don't think this draft is stronger unless he is literally nose to tail with Hakeem's gearbox.
Well, you can just see how close they are now. Rune isn't exactly making inroads on them, neither is Olszewski or Strömstra, who's pulled away from Tony Jimenez now. And it looks like Varani is, well, he's in a battle with Simon Frelick for 8th place. And it looks like it's going to be a rather damage limitation race for Ferrari. I don't actually know what his worst score is that he's still counted towards the championship. That's probably what he'll be thinking at this moment in time.
Maybe we'll have to keep an eye and see how he gets on for Luca Varani. But it's going to be very, very interesting. His lowest score at the moment was from Interlagos. That will be his drop week at the moment because he was down in 16th place, I believe. That was his lowest score for Luca Varani. So that is where his drop week will stand. Stefan Dodora with Chris Patel. Ridgway in behind with Williams and Lucas. And then Bartjan van der Laan is here and with Vibard Rabelard coming down directly towards us. And Bartjan van der Land, is he going to look for the outside? He's not. He's going to try and switch back. Doesn't make it through this time. Does Bart? He's going to have to try and go once more here. But Luca Varani, 28-point drop week currently, whereas Tony Jimenez is on a 20-point drop week, while Simon Frelich should drop he's got a 0 and a 21, and they're the two lowest for Simon Frelich. That'd be why he's sitting in third in the championship when we apply one drop week. Lee Aberdeen, Hakim, well, they seem to be continuing where they are at the moment, continuing the fight in at the moment. Aberdeen still in that same position behind Frelich.
Yeah, well, Aberdeen's got 3 non-finishes to his name, so he's got every right to be fighting for every single point he can get here. If he can get a second place finish, that will eliminate one of the non-finishes, and he can come towards trying to get a point score for all the races that are going to count towards the championship for him.
Yeah, he's down in Sebring, Fuji and Suzuka. Position-wise was 36, 29 and 42. It was 0, 0 and 0. But Aberdeen now looking, is he going to get the run? He's not. He backed out a little bit there as well. He's not really making that move at the moment. He must have Hakim's number if he's that confident where he's lifted off on lap 15. What about Van der Laan and Rabelard, where they are just continuing to fight with Willems and Ridgway and Mark Lucas all in the battle here. This could turn into a 2, 4, 6, 7 car fight currently on the track. That would be great to see. Michael LeMay trying to battle it out with Sonny Rosario. Andy Flint and Giovanni Solito have just swapped places. Solito there overtaking Flint on the rundown into turn 6. Flint tucks in once more in 20th place for Andy Flint. Currently, again, he's another man who dropped Misano, dropped Interlagos, not there. 0 points for him. So, unfortunately, that should be his 2 drop weeks done and dusted. Both of them will be 0. Stephen Dodderer, Robert Ridgway in here. Well, you can see how close Ridgway is. You don't really need me to ask it here, Tom, but Ridgway tucked up behind Dodderer.
Yeah, so he'll want to get this move done as soon as possible. Robert Ridgway's best results so far this season. I'm now going down the research route at the moment, James, whilst we are watching all of that playing out. We'll see Ridgway going through on Dodderer into Expo 92. Can't quite do it there. His best result has been a 4th place finish in that wet race in Fuji. His racecraft there was excellent, wasn't it?
Absolutely, and I think for Ridgway, he's trying to make his way forward, but he has got a little bit of a roadblock in Dodderer in front. So at the moment, he's not going to be able to make it through. He needs a good run out the right-hander. He's got it here. This is where the action's going to take place. Where are you going to go? Oh, you're parked in the middle of the track, you rascal. As he goes down into the right-hander, he's going to have to try and run him around the right-hand side. Whoa! Contact. Again, Ridgway gets through, and again on the outside of turn number 6. Could he be in a little bit of trouble, Robert Ridgway?
Well, it looks like the internet got involved in that because it had perceived, though, that contact was made, but I'm not sure if contact was actually made between the pair of them. So that maybe explain why we might have to get the point of views of both drivers just to see if there was genuinely any contact involved. Andy Flint has been in the pits for your information, not sure exactly what for, and not sure what damage he's picked up if there was any. We've got a couple of fastest laps coming through towards the top end of the field. Lee Aberdeen first, and then Mackenzie Roan has posted exactly the same time as what Aberdeen's just done.
Yeah, I can't really see a reason why. Let's have a look at the Dodderer and Ridgway overtake. Well, the internet did play a part in that. You can see on that one clearly visible. Aberdeen and Hakim again. Then you got Ridgway, Dodderer, Lucas, Rabelard and Bartjan van der Laan. Everybody in the middle of the lead 2. And that battle from 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 17th are all spread out in the middle by a second to 2 seconds for 3 seconds. You can see there on the left-hand side. But Aberdeen tucked in at this moment in time. Can he make this move? Do we think he's got Raheem Hakim's number and that's why he's sat there waiting at the moment?
Well, he's just sitting there waiting for the best opportunity possible, because if these two fight, that'll allow the likes of Roon, Ozubski and Strömstad to close in, and they'll be in play for the race wins. So they're just happy to just sit it out for the time being. It's towards the midfield, really, James, is where everything is all kicking off between Dodderer, Lucas, Willems and Rabiar, and in fact Lan as well is in that fight. So we've got about 5 cars fighting over 13th position, and then you have to go another 10 seconds back to Eddie Amos, who is having a rather average day so far. There's Aberdeen thinking about it, but Hakim saw it.
Yeah, Van der Laan now. He's definitely thinking about it. Dodder is side by side with Joseph Mount Lucas. Ridgway's trying to run away like a scolded cat at the moment here, trying to avoid every aspect of the draft. Dodder did not cover that draft run. He's going to try and tuck in and get a little bit off Ridgway. They're too wide, almost too deep. Dodder is holding on. He's got to open up the steering going into this next right-hander. You've got to give Lucas something to think about, mate. Otherwise, you might as well roll over like my little puppy and get your belly tickled. He did, unfortunately, get his belly tickled. He didn't just open it up enough there. He didn't open it enough and allows Lucas to come through. He should have just put a little bit more pressure on him. Should have just opened it up, squeezed him a little bit more and made Lucas either back out or think about it, or they were going to end up coming together. But at the moment, it is now he has got through. Now Willems is having a go as well. Is he going to be able to get through the right hand around the outside? Again, same scenario. Open it up, open it up, open it up. Didn't open it up, and again, Willems is going to script through underneath him. He needs to open it up a little bit.
Yeah, he needs to make it more difficult than what he is doing there, Dodder. He's almost like he's inviting the gap for them to just say, well, do you know what? I like the outside of dry sack, and I'm going to go and make a slingshot manoeuvre there. The moment he learns not to do that, the quicker he can actually get back in play for a strong result. But at the moment, Dodder is continuing to slowly go backwards. Obviously, he's posted his personal best lap of the race, as has Kevin Stremstra, as has Tony Jimenez. They're coming into their zones now, given that they have got a little bit more clear track in front. Stremstra and Jimenez are in the fight for 5th position, albeit just under a second between the pair.
You see, we're closing in, going into turn 1. We can't quite make it through. Then in front, Dodder is closing into Willems. Willems is closing into Lucas. Lucas is trying to get beneath that second to Ridgway, sitting out 9/10 at the moment. Through the left-hander they go. Then through into Cedar Ponds. Is Rabelais going to look up the inside again? Nope. Dodder out. Cover him off. Does cover him off. But now Rabelais going to go once more. This is where Dodder needs to be consistently consistent. You need to pick apart. If you're gonna go and pull over, you're not. Whoa, late swap, and there goes Rabelais around the outside. Hit there as well. There was also Van der Laan made it through. That was a 2-1 for Bart-Jan Van der Laan, but he can't quite finish it off at the moment. Now Dodder is down the back end of the pack, and watch this from Bart-Jan Van der Laan. He makes it almost 3 wide. The inside opens up. He dives up the inside, takes the opportunity and claims both of them. Great driving from Van der Laan next time, and they're still fighting it out now as they're coming back. Rabelais having a go at Van der Laan. Laan's got the inside. Is he going to be able to carry it through? Dodder is trying to overdrive that car. You need to relax a little bit here, son, otherwise your back end's going to be coming round. He's got that position back from Van der Laan, but he is not sure. Don't think he has quite cleared it yet, Tom, but Bart-Jan and Van der Laan 2 for 1. It was like shopping at Asda's.
Yeah, Van der Laan on the inside again on Dodder. They're still fighting now. Dodder goes back through, but he has had a rather dismal few laps, really, just allowing drivers to go through and not really closing the doors when he needs to be doing so. Hakim and Aberdeen still sticking together like glue. As you know, it's almost like a romantic movie that they are producing at the moment, these two. That's how intimate the battle has been going on, but I don't think that is going to be the case for too much longer. I expect Aberdeen to make a move very, very soon.
Yeah, I think so too. Nasir summed it up. He said Aberdeen's looking comfortable enough. I think he has got a couple of attempts up his sleeve. I agree. I think he is. He's just there. You can even see him lifting down the straight, coming out of Cedar Ponds, down into turn 6, and he's lifting off there as well. And I think Aberdeen has got a little bit more left in his locker. But what I think he wants to do is to be able to make that decisive move. Not be able to make the half move, but make a decisive move where there at the end of the day he gets through without any problems, and then he doesn't give Hakim anything to come back at here. 128.259 for Hakim, 128.152 for Aberdeen. But was that an off-track lap at some point? And that's why it's not registered as the fastest lap. It looks like it could possibly have been here. I think Aberdeen's got looking comfortable. Hola, boys, says Ramax in YouTube chat. Hello, mate. All right, welcome in. And I think Aberdeen could really take this if he wanted to.
Yeah, you don't want to get too many track limit warnings though, because otherwise they'll get a slowdown and maybe possibly a penalty after as well. But Aberdeen's made a mistake though on the approach
Yep.
to dry sack, and that's just cost him a little bit of ground. But don't worry about that too much, because we expect him to make all that ground back.
Yeah, Michael LeMay trying to cut back here, not managing to make it through. He's got currently Ben Goyet in front of us from MRP. LeMay trying to run him around the outside, going into turn one. This is going to be a big brave boy move if you're going to manage this one, mate. Now cut back underneath, didn't quite get the speed, didn't get the rotation through, didn't carry enough for Michael LeMay. Like Martin Lucas, Ridgway, Williams, they seem to be a continued pack as well, and they seem to be stuck in behind each other, and at the moment it is Ridgway leading the way.
Yeah, there is Lucas. We're right on board with the nose cam. He's behind Robert Ridgway, who's trying to pull away, but isn't exactly doing so. And you want to get onto the tail of Krish Patel very, very soon. Simon Frelick down in 10th position now. And this is quite a step back from last week. Bearing in mind, last week was a wet race for Simon Frelick, which was very much into his zone. But in dry races like this, he's not exactly the same as what we've seen from him from the victories he took in Fuji and Suzuka.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you see Ridgway under pressure. You can see he's got the looming car of Joseph Mark Lucas to the right hand side into turn one. He goes, not being able to make it through. He's going to run him around the outside. Ridgway's in that same position. You've got to open it up a little bit. Give him something to think about. You're going to get muscled off the inside line, and you did. Willems is going to try and follow through. Ridgway's got to slot back in like that. He did slot back in. Covers off Willems again, and at the same time, while trying to do that, trying to battle Lucas in front. Round through Cedar Ponds they go. This is going to be another free wide situation, I think. Willems is going to have the opportunity. Oh, covered off now. Go back, go back, go back. Didn't go back. Lucas holds on. Ridgway's going to run around the outside. Willems is going to try and go up the inside. Not this time. Ridgway comes back. He's got the inside line now over Lucas through the left-hander. It's going to be a Ridgway overtake. Is he going to be able to get it done? He does look like he can. You've got to open it up, son. He's going to come back at you through the right. He does come back through him again. And now this is where they are. This time, these positions are swapping. You've got to pressurize him on that outside. Don't give him a clear run. Stick your foot out, trip him over. I don't really care, but give him something is better than giving him nothing.
Yeah, well, he's living to fight another day there, is Lucas, whereas Ridgway has continued to drop back, and now he's left himself with a little bit of work to do in the closing stages. Just got 8 laps remaining here in Jerez. Hakim's lead is 1 second over Lee Aberdeen. Mackenzie Breen third. Ozufsi and Stremscher are further back. Jimenez is less than a second behind Stremscher, but this is the battle we've been focusing on over the last few laps. Even though it's for 12th position, it's the best battle we have had all race, really, hasn't it?
Yeah, these guys going backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Don't forget Rabelais was in there, Vanderlam was in there, Dodora was in there. They've all teetered off now. The gap from Rabelais to Williams is about 1.1. Oh, Williams, where you off to? That is not a good way. Can we get a bucket and spade for Jacques Williams? Ridgway's going for it again. Looking up the inside, laid on the brakes. Now you've got to open it up and give him something to think about. It doesn't give him anything. He's going to have that inside line. Ridgway trying to come back through. There's Lucas again. Still not making it through this time for Robert Ridgway. Still not giving him anything on that outside line. You're going to give him a run. You're going to give him a run. You might as well give him a free pass into your house. You've got to block him off. You've got to try and get wheel to wheel. Give him something. Aberdeen's just set the fastest lap, 1:28.236. That gap's now out to a second up front. Ridgway going to look at the inside. Is he going to look through this time? He isn't. He's going to have try and go around the outside for the last corner. Break early. Slot back in behind him. Slot back in behind him. Slot back in behind him. And did he get the job done? He did get the job done finally. Running around that outside corner in the final corner. He did manage to make it, but he's not on line for turn one. He's now got to come through and try and open it out. Williams is giving him something to think for Lucas there. Williams nestling him up as well. Great action from these three.
Yeah, brilliant action there. Superb overtake from Robert Ridgway to get through around the outside of Lorenzo. And he's going to try and pull away, but he's got too much of a gap to make because he's got 6 seconds to make up on his compatriot Krish Patel. who is another 4 seconds back from Simon Frelick. So I think Ridgway may well be consigned to a 12th place finish here. And for Frelick, well, you have to say it's just something he's going to have to settle for today. Looking at his performances this season, was we're looking at a replay of Aberdeen running wide. That was what Willems did on the previous lap, wasn't it?
Yeah, that gap's now 1.3 up front, unfortunately. Willems is still in there. Mark Lucas still in there behind Ridgway as well. Putting pressure on through the left-hander. Now we've got a double right here. If you're on the inside line and you've not muscled them off that inside line, you will be able to get through. Can't get through 9 and 10. Now the run on through 11. Down through turn number 12. The next right-hander, the little kink. There you go. Coming into 13. Final corner on the racetrack. This is the one Ridgway's got to bury. He's got to get this right. He goes in. It almost looks like there's a little bit of banking on that final corner that Ridgway's able to utilise to try and carry as much speed as possible, I think, here. That could be why he's making that impact over Lucas like he did on that final lap.
Yeah, well, he's trying to find the best lines possible around every corner that he's coming to. Going back to what I was saying about Simon Frelick, he's had 2 non-finishes so far this season, including one that he had missed. So he'll be able to add to his score with a potential maximum here today.
Yeah, Nasir, I'm blaming you. I'm blaming you. I think I jinxed Aberdeen. I agree. Just after he's sitting there saying he's got a few temps in the bag, he's lost about 7 of them. So, unfortunately, that's a viewer's curse. Makes a change from us up here in the commentary booth being blamed. Lucas tucked in behind him again. You can see Van der Laan in there. Rabelard, Willems, they're all closing up. This 5-car fight is producing action once more. Tony Jimenez in behind. Zwemstra also here. So Tony Jimenez closing up on Kevin Zwemstra. Is he going to be able to make up any positions? Ridgway now covering off that inside line through turn number 9. Coming into turn 10. Ridgway again holding the line. 128.1 for Aberdeen. Got the gap just about nearly into the final 4 laps. Nearly below a second, but I don't think he might have the pace here. Not sure if Aberdeen can do this.
Well, he just posted a new fast lap of the race, a 1:28.1. He has got time. He's got 5 laps to catch up to him, but he needs to be right at the gearbox if he's going to go for it. He may even have to catch him by surprise. I think we've seen that somewhere before on a particular circuit, James. I wonder which circuit that might be.
We'll have to see whether or not he can. I don't really know if he can here, whether or not that's going to be possible for Lee Aberdeen. Can he overtake him? Can he catch up to him? Can he make the move, though, Tom?
Well, we'll wait and see. We've just gone through Drysack, which is famous for the Villeneuve-Schumacher incident. I'm not saying that's what Aberdeen should do and make a dive bomb of it, but that could be all of what he needs if he's going to win the race. That might be what he has to do.
It's not close enough. No way. If he was to dive now, it would be suicide. Literally suicide. It would just cause absolute chaos, and I think it would be crazy. You've got an option now of settling for second and taking points on the board or not. Zwemstra looks like he's just been off the side of the circuit. There he is, sat down with Kevin Zwemstra. How did you... all on your own. Yep. I think that would put Zwemstra out of the race. It does. Jimenez now has got a gap to corner. We've still got the Ridgway. We've still got Lucas Willems. We've still got in there. Van der Laan still there chasing him down. But at the moment, Akeem's gap's down to 8 tenths. Aberdeen is coming, but he's only got this one and 3 more to actually make inroads. Mackenzie Roon slowly trying to get through. Dennis Corner, who's got off the side of the circuit and made an incident as well, manages to hold on to 6th place through the gap. Aberdeen's coming at him, 7 tenths, and he ain't got long.
No, he's only got 4 laps to do this, has Lee Aberdeen. But like I say, even if he doesn't win this one, these are still good points for his championship.
Yeah, I think second, any points are better than no points. But for Aberdeen, I think he would like it to be the top step here and stop Hakeem taking points away from him. Of course, Raheem Hakeem all the way down in 12th at the championship at this moment in time. So not really in the mix for Raheem Hakeem. And he's got 4 Road Atlantic Sebring, Kota and Mazzano. He missed here. So, and unfortunately, even with that drop week for Raheem Hakeem, he's down in 12th place. Aberdeen 7 temps back. Is he going to be able to make this through? Nasir, you better say something positive to see if he can get there, but he's 7 temps on lap 28. We've got this one and 2 more to go, and I just don't know if he can get there. I don't think he's quite got the pace.
Well, out of the top 3, Mackenzie Roon is coming alive, actually. He posted the new fastest lap on the last lap, but one. Oh, he's had a spin. Mackenzie Roon has had a spin.
Oh, Mackenzie. Turn 1. Is this an Andy Flint moment? It's not. He's on the exit. What does he do here? Oh, such a painful spin on your own. And that is counted out. Mackenzie Roon, Mark Lucas and Ridgway side by side. Again, Lucas has got the inside. Again, Ridgway cuts off his nose. And again, Willems is still in there. Now Ridgway's run wide. Lucas is going to come back through. Willems is going to try and come back through over the top of him as well. Can Willems get this one? Lots of mistakes happening now, Tom. Is this the tyres going off here?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think some drivers will be feeling that the tyres are falling away. When they start falling away, James, they fall away quite drastically. And that's what's taking its toll on some of these drivers now, which is what I think Luca Ferrari was alluding to us before we went on air. And, well, it seems like he's coping fine so far, but for some drivers, not quite so.
Yeah, still battling it out. Raheem Hakeem is out. Why?
That is a big twist. Is that an internet connection?
Yeah, he's just gone. He literally he's just puffed.
That is heartbreaking.
It's just puffed away on that one. And Raheem Hakeem is gone. He has gone. It is our job, Christine. It is our job to tell you a story, to give our opinions. That is why we are here. And that is why we do this and what we do here as well. Now Willems and Ridgway battling out. Ridgway's looking up the inside. Can't get through this time. He's not going to be able to again. And Hakeem has gone. Hakeem has gone and he's down out of the order. And he's not going to be able to get this done. Unfortunately, it looks like he's just had a major disconnect for Raheem Hakeem. Now Robert Ridgway, Jacques Willem, Joseph Mark Lucas, Bart Jan van der Laan and Fibard Rabelard having a go on that one. Is he going to be able to try and get through? Not this time either. And he's trying to make a move as well. But Mark Lucas, he is still here. I told you Aberdeen would win. That must hurt. Oh, it will hurt there as well. Lucas trying to hold on. Open it up a little bit here as well. Block it. There you go. That's what we should have done. That's what we were talking about all the way through. Open the steering up. Stop Willems coming back at him. Ridgway's now trying to come back on. Lap 29. Over the line for lap 30. Lee Aberdeen starts the final lap of the race here through the right-hander. Now through the next right-hander as well. Lucas, Willems and Ridgway. Ridgway is literally nose to tail here, Tom, putting pressure on him.
Yeah, this is a great battle raging on, and like you say, Joe Lucas doing the right thing to just cut across and make the driver behind lift off the throttle and lose all the momentum through the next sequence. And now Ridgway is back in the fight to try and get into the top 10, but that was a really poor exit out of Lorenzo there.
Yeah, he tried to utilise that curbing, that slight little bit of banking, didn't quite get it right either. Willems now with Lucas, this is the final bit. Your leader is on his run around turn 6, he's got a few more quarters to go. We'll pick him up a little bit later on in the lap, but Willems is going to try and put pressure on Lucas. It is down to these two. You can see Salito in there, Flint's in there. They're still continuing to fight. Lots of action all taking place on this final lap. Aberdeen through the double right-hander. He's got now through the turn number 9, through turn 10. He's got one more run, which hopefully he won't be able to get there until Willems gets there down into this right-hander. Is he going to be able to take the inside? Willems sent out the inside, literally full beans on the inside as well. He does manage to get through. Does he hold it? Lucas is coming back at him. It's not done whatsoever, but we've got to pick up on the leader. Lee Aberdeen taking the victory here, goes over the line, finishes in first place. Mackenzie Roon will get second. Jakub Oleszewski will grab third. And Willems, they've collided. Jack Willems have collided. Giovanni Salito now in here as well. He's got Bengo, I believe that's MRP, I think, in front. Oh, Sonny Rosario actually in front of that. Oh, we'll have a look at the Jacques Willems incident very, very shortly. But they come together. Willems and Solito come together, Tom.
Yeah, he's parked it as Lucas, so I wonder if there's damage between him and the driver which he collided, which will have been Jacques Willems. But Solito is not finished here with Rosario through the last corner there. Rosario going too deep. Solito takes advantage, and Solito snatches 16th position right at the dam.
Yeah, he does. Comes over the line. Andy Flint here as well with Ben Goyette. They're literally nose to tail. Is Flint going to get the run out the final corner? He's not. Ben Goyette is going to hold on, I believe. He is going to hold on and take that position. What about Dorian O'Rourke? He is closing in at a rapid rate. A lot of knots over Linus Malm. Is he going to be able to get this coming out in his final corner as well? Tries that wider line. Going to try to cut back. I don't think he's going to get it. I think it is going to be Malm's going to get it. He is just steady, son, because if Aurora went there, you would have been in trouble. But let's have a look back at the Jacques Willems incident. He's gone round here.
Yeah, so there's contact. Yeah, and the rear suspension was broken on Lucas's car, hence why he parks up at the next corner.
Yeah, I think. Got a funny feeling here. We may have run into the back. There's one. There's, yep. 2 bits of contact for Jacques Willems. And unfortunately, he does, well, he manages to get it through and hold on to the position, but will he feel good about that position? That's going to be the question. Now let's bring you up the results here of this race. Lee Aberdeen is your winner. Mackenzie Rood in second, Jakub Oleszwinski in third, Tony Jimenez in fourth. That is Cornu in fifth, then Luca Varani sixth with Clark Williams and Simon Froelich and Chris Patel, and Robert Ridgway there rounding out to your top 10. Fibar Rabelard in 11th, and Stefan Dodder and Bart-Jan van der Laan. Jack Williams down in 14th. Eddie Amos manages to hold on to 15th, up 10 places. Biggest gainer looks like it's Ben Goyette, up 14. Great job from him. Moving on now over the top 15. Giovanni Solito, Sonny Rosario 16, 17. Ben Goyette in 18th place. Andy Flint 19th, and Michael LeMay in 20th. Linus Malm in 21st. Dorian O'Rourke in 22nd. Noel Richie Robertson 23rd. Then we've got the guys that are lap down. Joseph Mount Lucas and Sean Pulsifier here are a lap down. Then Raheem Hakeem, Kevin Swempster, John McKenzie, Richard Van Veen on Andrei Raskowski rounding out the top 30. Then you've got Paul LeMay, Chris Trott and Zoltan Zamota in behind that. That was a race of halves, I think, there. Pressurising Aberdeen to pressurise Hakeem, didn't manage to get it done, and then he drops back 1.1, I think it was at one point, and then Hakeem disconnects.
Oh, it's heart rate wrenching when that happens, doesn't it? Especially when you're in the lead all of that time, and it just all to fall apart right at the end. So that pretty much rules Raheem Hakim out of the title race. If it wasn't already before this round, it most certainly is now. For Rani, looking at the maths, James, because I know he finished inside the top 10, he's able to improve his score, which means the Interlagos score goes. And as far as Lee Aberdeen, well, it's his 5th win of the season. And given he's already had 3 non-finishes, he gets a maximum score out today, and that throws him back into the running for the title.
Yeah, it does. It does, but we'll see how fast he's going to be able to get. That's going to be the question for Aberdeen. And has he got a few races to go? Well, we're going to find out how it is as this carries on running right through to, obviously, I think it's another 3 weeks left to go. We've got 3 weeks left to go. Go to Imola, then the Nürburgring Grand Prix, and then Hockenheim. We finish on December the 8th. I told you. Oh, you're so lucky, Al, as well. It's a very short straight. It is a very short straight. I think that could be a problem there as well. But guys, that's going to wrap it up. I don't believe we've got anybody popping in for a chat here. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the bells. And as always, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.